Thursday Night Football takes us to the nation's capital this week for a classic NFC East matchup. New York Giants coming to town to face the Washington Redskins. Redskins are a 3.5-point favorite on BETDAQ. 46 is the total in this game. Both these teams come in here at 1-2, but very different 1-2s. The Giants looked awful for their first two games of the season before turning it around and beating the Houston Texans at home last week. The Redskins, meanwhile, looked bad in a Week 1 loss to those very same Texans, but over the last 2 weeks they've looked like a different team. Now, maybe that's because of the emergence of Kirk Cousins at quarterback. Robert Griffin III dislocated his ankle in the first quarter of Washington's Week 2 win over Jacksonville, and ever since then this Redskins offense has been clicking. A lot of people giving the credit to Cousins. Jay Gruden also done a very nice job certainly designing this offense and calling plays. But what you don't want to leave out, what I think is important to realize here, especially when we're evaluating which is the best side here in this game, is the Redskins have played two terrible defenses over the last couple of weeks. They faced the Jacksonville Jaguars in Week 2. The Jaguars currently ranked last in total defense. They've allowed more points this season over the first 3 weeks than any team since the 1970 AFL-NFL merger. So Jags, a historically bad defense right now. And the other team Washington faced last week was the Philadelphia Eagles. And yes, their offense went up and down the field on the Eagles, but keep in mind the Eagles finished last in the NFL in total defense last season. So the Redskins over the last 2 weeks have faced two of the very worst defenses in the league. For that reason, I think they might be a little overvalued as we head into this Week 4 game. You look at the stats, Washington, second in the league in total offense and fourth in total defense. Are they really that good? I think that's what it comes down to here. If you think Washington is really that good or even close to that good, then of course you're going to like him here as a 3.5-point favorite over the New York Giants, because I think we know what the Giants are. They are getting better. They're coming around, as we saw last week against Houston. It's taken Eli Manning some time to get used to this new Ben McAdoo offense, but last week was the best performance we've seen from Manning and this offense. But the Giants are not a great team. Now, I do think they have an underrated defense. Their defense currently ranking 22nd right now. They were a top 10 unit last year, and really most of the damage was done this season in that Week 1 loss to the Detroit Lions. You recall in that game, Detroit really torched this New York defense. But the Giants have played better defensively over the last 2 weeks. I think they're a little bit better on that side of the ball than people realize, and I think they are going to be able to slow down Kirk Cousins and this Washington offense. For that reason, I do lean towards the Giants here. I think this is going to be a close game. I think the 3.5 points might come in handy. So I think New York plus 3.5, a good-looking bet. Also lean towards under 46 in this spot.